Hello, Nerd Soup fans, and we are back with another episode of the Nerd Soup podcast. And today we're going to be talking about some news in the world of television and movies. But first, I have Teddy here. How you doing, Teddy?
How's it going, man?
And we're going to get into some Infinity War spoiler talk because Ted wasn't able to make our Infinity War spoiler review.
I got kicked. Not making it, just so you guys all know.
I'm like over here trying to gloss over it. You're like, yeah, they booted me last minute.
I was waiting for you to say it. Kind of felt rude.
No, I thought you were going to come in and be like, yeah, I had some other obligations that I had to get to. I had a couple meetings.
No, Nerd Soup is my number one option. I just...
No, that's number one on the list,
Yeah.
and that's our
you said no.
number one booty call, and we blocked you. Sent you to the answering machine. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that you can listen to this podcast on iTunes at the Nerd Soup Podcast. You can also listen to us at SoundCloud at the Nerd Soup Podcast. Look us up there if you're listening on your phone or any device that you have. We're not on Spotify because it's almost impossible to get a podcast on there, or Google Play. We're trying. So if you're on Android, I'm an Android guy too. I know the struggle.
Is Spotify like saying no? I don't get why we can't get on Spotify.
Well, it's like you have to make a blood sacrifice, and then you have to learn ancient hieroglyphics.
Okay.
And then you have to do a rain dance for like 48 hours to the rite of spring. It's ridiculous.
It's all on video? You got to show them, prove that you did it?
Yeah, all on video, and then you have to, like, Westworld submit your DNA to make
Okay.
sure that it's actually you. You need to doctor the footage,
Yeah.
Little Zapruder film.
That's a lot.
What do you think about JFK? You think that was a conspiracy?
Yeah.
What
I'll talk about that right now.
Are you scared?
What about What about
I feel like you're scared to voice your opinion.
I was.
Your eyes got wide there. Like, are they
It's like, all right, you
listening?
want to get into this? You don't know who's listening, man.
Nerd Soup After Hours. Oh, NSA.
We'll get
is
shut
listening.
down.
No, it was definitely the mob
I agree.
or LBJ.
I watched that documentary on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
what was it called? The Oliver Stone Show, right?
Well, no, the JFK conspiracy.
Is it that's just the show?
Yeah, no, it's not a show. It's just like one 45-minute episode of how the JFK was a conspiracy.
I read the Jesse Ventura book, and what's funny about the JFK, I always had an idea to make a JFK movie and just release it, but each one had a different ending. There were 5 alternative endings, and it could be any of the possibilities that people speculate how he was killed.
It's just so crazy how accurate all the accusations are, and it's just they just won't come out with it and just say it
Yeah,
was.
a lot of them line up. Well, I remember John Kerry a couple of years ago. He was like, yeah, it was probably a conspiracy, and they pressed him further, and he was like, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, but for Infinity War...
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about steel beams melting.
Okay, well.
No, that one, you have to wait like 25 years. That's
Yeah.
Nerd Soup in 25 years.
I'm not ready for that one.
So Infinity War, what were your overall feelings of the movie? I know you liked the movie, because if you didn't, you'd probably be like the only one on the internet.
Could be.
Breaking
Or be
news,
like Aaron.
Teddy hates... Yeah, that's true. What were your overall feelings?
Honestly, I loved it. I was glued to that screen for all 2 hours and 45 minutes of it. What stood this movie out to a lot of other Marvel movies that they did was the fact that Thanos went for the fucking throat. Like, he wasn't playing no fucking games, dude. When we first see him in that first scene with Thor, it's one of the first times that we actually see Thor that's in a really tough spot that he might not be able to get out of it, and you can visually see on him that he's scared.
He's got the God of Thunder at his feet, picking him up and dragging him.
A lot of the times when, like in Ragnarok, he's cracking jokes the entire time.
Right. When he was the first scene with Surtur.
Yeah.
He's
And
making jokes. He's not taking it serious.
He's binded up. He's got a fucking god in front of him too.
Yeah.
And he's not phased. But now he's got Thanos in front of him, and he's just fucking sitting there scared.
And it goes to show just from that first scene how strong and powerful this guy is, where he has the God of Thunder, the Norse God of Thunder, at his knees. He's giving this speech to the God of Mischief, Loki. And I love that. I find myself over the last couple of weeks just repeating Thanos lines at random times of the day. I'll be like, turns the legs to jelly. He was just such a great job by Josh Brolin. And what do you think about this? The fact that, unlike Ultron or other villains, there was no joking with Thanos.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. He's not there to play fucking games, man. And that's I think it's the second time they did it. First with Killmonger, and it worked out great. And now with Thanos, I'm hoping they figured out the villain now. You know,
Well,
enough with the jokes with the villains.
Right. And Feige said when Marvel started that the focus was going to be on the heroes rather than the villains. And there's this old saying that Marvel has interesting heroes, DC has interesting villains, which I would disagree with because I am more of a DC guy and I think they get a bad rap. But now it seems like you said, that the focus is shifting, where they are putting more emphasis on their villains, developing them in a sympathetic light, which is interesting. What did you think about that? The change between Thanos being more sympathetic rather than in the comic where he's just trying to impress death.
I'm not really familiar with the comic,
but you know of it.
Yeah, but the fact that this big guy can feel, I don't know how they did it. They got you to feel for this guy that wants to kill half of humanity. It's like they almost made you think that he's right and that he might be onto something.
I was taking it into consideration. Maybe
No,
Earth can use the Thanos treatment.
He's not trying to kill everyone because he hates everyone. You know, he's trying to help everyone out. But
yeah, right. But
he's
he's also
a fucking
madman.
psychopath.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I think people keep saying that one of the plot holes in the movie is that if Thanos is all-powerful with the Infinity Gauntlet, why didn't he just quadruple the world's resources? But you have to think of it from Thanos' perspective. This is more of a revenge tour for Thanos. It's a revenge quest because he feels that his planet didn't listen to him, they didn't take his advice into account, and they got destroyed.
Yeah.
So Thanos it's almost, he thinks that it's mercy, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but it's really punishing intelligent life, saying that you need to be put in check so that this doesn't happen again. And I would have liked to have seen somebody say, Thanos, why don't you just quadruple the world's resources? Yeah. And he could have been like, why? So they can just waste them all over again? That you could have gotten more into the
it's
madness.
It's a fucked up mindset that he's thinking right now.
Right. And I do wish...
It's either his way or the highway.
Exactly. And I wish they would have got a little bit more into that, where somebody would have pressed him with, you're not thinking straight, just make more resources, and he would have just lost his mind. Like, no, you don't understand. They need to be punished. And you could have got more into the madness, and at that point made him less sympathetic.
The only thing I had to say with that is, like, I feel like there's no point for that because, like you said, either way he's just not going to listen, and I doubt you'd get him to even consider doing something like that.
Right, and even in that moment, I doubt the heroes are thinking that way. I don't think they're trying to piece this together logically. They're thinking, oh shit, we need to do something right away. There's no point of reasoning with this crazy madman.
It's crazy what kind of power that gauntlet has, and the fact that it was just made by a fucking dwarf.
Right, and that's I like the callback to not the callback, but the fact that they reference Norse mythology and that Eitri, the king of the dwarves, and the dwarves make the weapons.
Like, it wasn't like a gauntlet that was buried away for millions and millions of years. It was just
it
can be made
forged.
Again, Yeah, and but what I didn't really understand, if they made a weapon like that can power the Infinity Stones, what's stopping this dwarf to making a stronger weapon to help stop him?
Well, I guess that could have been
his axe, maybe.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's make a weapon that can counteract that. I think it gets to a point though where it's really just harnessing the Infinity Stones. It's so that it won't break. But even when Thanos does the snap, the gauntlet is fried. That gauntlet, that's like a one and done thing.
I thought it didn't work.
Right? Yeah. Me
didn't
too.
Work.
I thought maybe he sent himself because the theory now is that he is in the Soul Stone universe.
That's what I think too. Yeah.
Yeah. That the Russo brothers have confirmed it at the end of the film when he's on his farm. That he's in that pocket universe. That's where he sent himself.
I was going to state something and say I wish they would have said exactly where he is because I thought he was in the Soul Stone. I want to know how they're going to get to him in part 2.
Look, I mean, going into part 2, man, I can hardly wait.
I can't even think about what's happening in part 2.
I have so many.
I don't want
theories.
it right now. Actually, I just want to
Yeah, I'm ready for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah,
a little palate cleanser.
I want to see what dots that connects.
There's so many routes that these guys can go. And the thing with Marvel is the people who are running it, James Gunn, Feige, the Russo brothers, they're so knowledgeable of the Marvel universe. They know the comics. They know the routes that they can take. And people have been speculating, are they going to involve the Skrulls with Captain Marvel and her movie? Because that movie comes out like a month and a half before Avengers 4, and we obviously saw the post-credit scene.
I wish they would have spaced that out more.
Like in November?
Yeah. Not so close to the movie.
Only because you want to see Captain Marvel, right?
I want to see Captain Marvel. I want to digest it. I want to think about it.
Right.
Now I'm going from I got so much in my mind for Captain Marvel. Now I have to go see Infinity War 2.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. It's almost like in Game of Thrones, the episode 9, where it's like the penultimate. Although it's like you're getting 2 episodes, episode 9s with Captain Marvel and Infinity War Part 2 or Avengers 4, whatever they're going to call it. But what do you think about the criticism that it's just all going to be undone in the next movie? All the characters who died.
I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think's going to happen. But I got a few theories on the second one, what they could do. I think he's obviously going to restore humanity. I honestly think it's going to get undone and that they're going to restore humanity. And I think this is their chance to incorporate mutants into the MCU.
Well, that's if the deal gets done, because now there's some talk that maybe Comcast is going to buy out Fox over Disney. So the deal isn't official yet, but yeah, go ahead. If it does get done, I think so too.
Like, you know, if they do bring back humanity, I'm sure they're not going to come back all in perfect form, and that could be your reasoning on why the mutants are there.
Right, where Scarlet Witch comes back, and it's an alternate universe in which she didn't get her powers from the scepter, but she's just a mutant.
Right.
So that's why she doesn't have the accent.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
And maybe her brother comes back. If you look at some of the set photos, we won't talk about those because they can be seen as spoilers. It looks like it's gonna get a little freaky in Avengers 4.
Yeah.
That they're gonna mix some things up here. But I push back on this whole notion that it's gonna be undone. Where I do obviously think Spider-Man, Black Panther, some of these characters are going to come back. But I think the people who are alive are the ones who are more in trouble. Because it's the old guard ushering in the new guard. It's all the old G's are the ones that are still alive.
the original Avengers are still alive, yeah. And that's who I initially thought was going to die in this one. I thought Iron Man, Black Widow, Cap, I thought they were all going to die in this one for good.
And it's obviously a conscious decision to keep all of those guys alive. I mean, when you're thinking about it, it is random when he makes the snap, but there are still people making these choices. So what are the chances that the original Avengers would survive it? But you got a little funky group there with Rocket and War Machine and Nebula. So.
Oh, speaking of Rocket, that was the best pairing. It was Rocket and Thor.
Thor and Sweet Rabbit.
Fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah. That'd be a great spin-off movie.
Thor and Rocket?
Yeah, and Groot in the background playing his fucking game. Well, when he chops off his hand to make Stormbreaker, that was such a great moment.
Is he worthy? Because, I guess it's not his hammer. It's a new weapon. But
right, I think the whole worthy thing was a curse that was put on the hammer by Odin. So it was testing Thor in that first movie.
And yeah.
But Stormbreaker is if you're strong enough. And Groot wasn't necessarily... He picked it up for like a second, Yeah. And then he chopped his arm off.
I love Thor's character development in this one.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like
he's so good.
I feel like they maxed out Thor now. Like, this is where Thor has to be. And from seeing where he came in Thor 1, it's fucking two different people.
And you were always a big Thor guy.
I was.
He was your favorite Avenger.
Yeah.
And so you must be thrilled just to see how he's become front and center.
The top man, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the reason why they have a chance, I feel like. I thought before the movie was that he was their only chance.
That was a great line.
To be strong enough.
Yeah. When he throws the axe at Thanos, gets him in the heart, and he's like, I told you would die for this. He's awesome.
I wanted so hard. I couldn't believe that his fucking axe was going through. It was going through the Infinity Stones. I can't. That says a lot about that fucking axe, though.
Right, and that's to your. Why can't Eitri just make a weapon that can defeat the Infinity Stones, even though it didn't? It had the power of a full star. So that's. I mean, when you talk about the Infinity Stones, obviously it's going to be hard to defeat them either way. And Thanos says you should have went for the head because I still have the snap. But yeah, I mean, everything with Thor in this movie, the fact that they put him front and center of the Avengers, and I didn't mind that Captain America got pushed back because we've gotten so much of Captain America
being
over
a guy, and
he's been the main guy for
guy.
The last 3 movies, the big ones, the big event films.
Yeah.
Ultron, he's front and center. Civil War is his movie, even though it's an Avengers movie, and Winter Soldier's to me still the best one, or with Black Panther.
And he's got 2 movies.
Right. Yeah. So. What did you think about the battles? The battle on Titan, Thanos versus...
Oh my god, that was fucking insane.
I loved it.
I love the way... I can't believe how strong Doctor Strange is. I gained so much respect for Doctor Strange. I would almost put him ahead of Thor, but Thor's
he's on that level.
Yeah, he's on Thor's level.
A lot of people were saying that they liked this more than the Doctor Strange movie. Do you like the Doctor Strange movie?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay,
I liked it. You didn't see much fighting with him though. That's the thing. I think that's what threw me off with Doctor Strange, not realizing how strong he was. I mean, he can power the Time Stone and everything, but he's a fighter. He was bodying fucking Thanos.
And I like that his fighting style got weird. It wasn't him just punching Thanos.
He was fucking
all of these
optical illusions and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was falling for it,
turning things into butterflies, and then when he becomes all the different Stranges. And there's a great line too that I love that Thanos says when he first arrives on Titan and he sees Doctor Strange sitting down and. Strange says, "Oh, you're much more of a Thanos." And Thanos says, "I take it the Maw is dead," talking about Ebony Maw. That's just a great little line from Thanos that he cares about his underlings. He cares about the fact that Ebony Maw lost his life to Doctor Strange. He's like, oh, today costs a heavy toll.
Yeah. What? You killed your daughter? I can't. That too. That scene when you see feelings for Gamora. That was another fucking powerful scene.
Oh yeah, great scene.
I didn't see that coming. I really thought Gamora had him with, you don't love anything, so you can't get the Soul Stone. You failed.
Oh, it's such a great line too. The universe has judged you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah. And
But
Thanos looks back at her like, oh, this is
it proves
awkward.
every point. You can't really say that he doesn't feel, because he couldn't get the Soul Stone if he didn't really feel. It's not like it was a fake. The Soul Stone, he would have gotten it if he didn't really love Gamora.
Right,
and
exactly.
was upset that he killed her.
That's what Red Skull says, that Red Skull can't hold the Soul Stone because there's nothing that he truly loved.
Right.
And I think Gamora deep down was hoping that he didn't love her, but I think she knew. Because what surprised me most about this movie, the biggest surprise, besides the fantastic ending, the balls on them to kill off all those characters, what surprised me most is the moment when Gamora thought she killed Thanos and she began to cry.
Yeah.
Because I thought up until this point, she hates this guy. There's nothing that she won't do to get away from him. And then that moment where she breaks down, it's like, oh,
how does
no.
she feel for him though?
She thinks I think she loves him as a father.
No, I'm saying, how does she feel for him though? She killed.
It's very complex.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's very muddled and complex and dark and twisted and a little disturbing, that relationship. It's a little Stockholm syndrome-y.
It's insane how strong Thanos is. With the reality stone and all this. It's like this guy is fucking. It's too much.
And they toned it down from the comics.
The big thing with this movie was that every other Marvel movie, you feel like the heroes are ready for them, and the heroes are gonna win. The heroes are the best ones in the movie. They took a backseat to Thanos, which was amazing. This was Thanos' movie, but I mean, I totally agree with that. This is just too much to focus on. To focus on all the Avengers and have Thanos come in.
And I think they handled it well.
Yeah, perfectly.
It's like, oh, we need a super secret base to keep Vision safe. We'll go to Wakanda. Oh, cool. That's Black Panther. I know him. But I don't need a whole Black Panther subplot.
No.
I just need him to be there to do cool things.
And I like that they realize that they don't have to give such big intros to these characters. I love that about this movie was the intros to the characters. It's like each time you get introduced to a character, it was like you're going back to that movie. With the Guardians being introduced, with Rubber Band Man on the ship. It's like you were back watching the Guardians movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That opening scene with Thor, when he was holding Thor, it's like you're watching that Thor movie. And then when you go back to Wakanda, it's like you never left Wakanda in Black Panther.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I said this when the runtime was released, that it was going to be 2 hours and 36 minutes. I thought, it's kind of short for a movie this big. But then I thought to myself, maybe they found a way to pace this story where they didn't have to focus on so many of the smaller players as much as the bigger players, who would be Thanos, Gamora, Thor, who I would say those are the leads of this movie, the co-leads. And even, I mean, I love the Iron Man stuff in this movie when Iron Man is... The moment that I loved from Iron Man, my favorite Iron Man moment in this movie, is when Thanos goes to pull the moon and throw it at Iron Man, and it cuts inside of Iron Man's mask. And I want to go back and check this, but I feel like every time you see Iron Man in his mask, he says something funny, and he makes a quip. Nothing. No. Terror. Eyes wide, looking up.
What the fuck did you say to that,
He had nothing to say. And then when he comes back later and you're expecting another quip and he says, if you throw another moon at me, I'm going to lose it. I don't think that was meant to be funny. I think that was like, I'm scared shitless right now. I need to do everything I can to try to beat this guy. And that was a great one-on-one between him and Thanos.
What was a better one-on-one? Iron Man and him, or Doctor Strange and Thanos?
Oh, that's so tough.
I got to say Iron Man.
Yeah, I would say Iron Man too. Strange and Thanos looked cooler, but there was so much raw emotion in the Thanos. It felt like these are the two guys these are the two ends of the spectrum of this conflict of how do we save intelligent life.
They make you question how strong Iron Man is too.
Well, that armor, man, that's his best armor. That's straight from the comics, bleeding edge armor.
I was gonna ask you if that was the armor that they got from Black Panther, or if he made that.
Right, it's because he says it's nanotech, and you're thinking because Black Panther they opened up their tech to the world. That
or maybe he just figured it out.
Right, maybe he figured it out on his own, because in the comic it's just he built this suit using nanotechnology. I'm pretty sure even his earlier suits are using nanotech, but that suit is like it's almost like an exoskeleton. It's like a synthetic exoskeleton. So when he took off his glasses, man, and that shit just like started crawling over his body.
Yeah.
He looks back at Hulk. He's like, "You like
fucking suits, man?" They brought out the fucking the Spider-Man suit.
Oh,
with the actual spider. That was fucking amazing too.
Yeah.
Even the whole Spider-Man feel, him skedaddling and the fucking up in the air, dodging everything.
Well, those scenes were my
His
favorite
ideas.
of the movies.
Yeah.
That group with Doctor Strange, the Guardians, Iron Man, Spider-Man, that was my favorite group by far.
I thought it was ballsy having all three of the smartest guys on the team in the same room.
Yeah.
Like, that was like Peter Parker, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man. You would think that they would just clash, but they made those three work pretty well too.
And they did at the beginning, especially Strange and Iron Man, when you had those two big egos. But it ended up working out really well. I mean, they had great chemistry, Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. And I'm thinking, because I don't know what's going to happen with Iron Man in Avengers 4, I think he is the one that's going to end up sacrificing himself.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
You see what I think's going to happen? Overall, I think the Avengers are going to win, and they're going to restore humanity. And I think he's going to retire and be with Pepper. I think he's going to hand over Iron Man to Shuri.
That would be nice. I would like to see that happen. But the thing is, you just can't reset everything and not have any repercussions or consequences. I think it's going to be a little bit of, they're going to bring these guys back to life, but there's a payoff. Where Thanos didn't win, the Avengers didn't win, there was a conflict, and there's collateral damage on both sides.
I just want them to retire. I don't want them to die. I want always to be that. Like,
did you
back.
think he was dead?
Who?
Iron Man?
Yeah.
When Thanos had me too. I was like, oh, this is it. I was like, they're really going to kill him.
And then before I put two and two together with the one time they won, I was like, you're really going to give the time stone to him? Are you kidding me?
Right. People have been saying, well, that's part of his plan because the one universe.
It's got to be. I mean, they wouldn't reference that of him going back in time or him going forward in time and seeing all that shit. Like,
I read a theory
it's pretty
that
obvious.
All of the 14 million alternate universes that he saw, Iron Man was killed, and Thanos got the time stone anyway. And the one universe in which they win, he willingly gives Thanos the time stone,
right.
And Iron Man lives because Iron Man's going to be the one to wear the gauntlet in the next movie to set everything right, and it's going to fry him to death.
My biggest criticism with this movie is what they did to Star-Lord. I mean, I understand why he did it. He's human. They just made him look so bad. Like, they're about to take the glove off. Even if they get the glove off, we all know he's getting it back.
Yeah.
But it's just what they did to him. They made him look like they made him sour, and it pissed me off. You're getting the glove off, and you care about him killing Gamora. Like, you just pulled the trigger on her.
Right, yeah. Well, Marissa said on the spoiler review that he wished that would have been the way that she wishes that Star-Lord would have killed Gamora, and that was the end of it, instead of Thanos. But I don't dislike the Star-Lord scene.
If you go with that, with what Marissa said, that
it's more
ends
powerful.
The movie, no?
Right.
If he can't get the Soul Stone?
Yeah. But I'm assuming, exactly. So you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Star-Lord thing because I remember you and Aaron said the same thing with Civil War. Why doesn't Iron Man just realize that Bucky was brainwashed? When you feel betrayed and you know that somebody was responsible for the death of somebody that you love, I can't imagine how that feels and how you would black out. I mean, just being somebody who has lost people, we've all lost people, but in that moment, you're not yourself. And knowing everything that Star-Lord has gone through, he's lost his mother, he had to kill his father, Yondu just died 2 years previously. Gamora's, he still has the other Guardians until the very end when they all fucking disappear. But that's his life moving forward, and then this fucking purple psycho just murdered her to get some stone, and it's wait till the gauntlet is off and then you shoot him, right?
Yeah.
But
even like they got so close, like they got the strongest guy in the universe. They had him. It's like you were fucking right there. You had it. I bet if they didn't show that it was off, like that it was slipping off, I would have been fine with it.
I do love that when he got it right back. He just grabbed it right from Spider-Man.
Take that back from you.
I love when Spider-Man was kicking the shit out of magic. More magic. And he just grabs him, throws him on the floor. Insect.
Did you know exactly what Spider-Man was referencing when he said alien?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was like, oh, they're gonna blow this fucking guy out of the ship.
No, he was nice too.
Ebony Maw?
Yeah.
He was.
Are you kidding me?
You have been saved by the great Titan. Rejoice, for your deaths tip the universal scales towards balance. He was great, man. And in the comic, they changed this too. They made him telekinetic in the movie. In the comic, he has no powers. He just talks to you, and you do things that he wants. It's not even that he can control your mind. He just has this really ambiguous power of persuasion.
He had a body on Strange.
Oh yeah, and that scene when he's got all the needles in him. Oh.
I thought it was gonna be a lot worse though. Did you?
I thought so too, because in the trailer when he screams, I was like, "Oh shit, this movie's gonna be nuts."
I thought Strange was gonna die. Prior to coming in, I thought Strange was gonna die. I thought Iron Man was gonna die, and I thought Cap was gonna die.
I thought there was a chance that Strange could have died because Doctor Strange 2 hasn't been confirmed. But I love Doctor Strange, man. He's slowly becoming one of my favorite. Not slowly. I think after Captain America, he's probably my favorite Marvel character out of all of them. So where would you rank this movie overall for Marvel films? Where does it rank in your list?
I put it at 4.
What do you have ahead of it?
I got Black Panther, Civil War, Thor Ragnarok.
Okay. What's number 5?
I haven't thought about that.
Winter Soldier?
Could be.
Yeah, the more I think of Infinity War, it's definitely top 3 for me.
I gotta rank all my movies. I gotta get a list going.
I think in a weird way, Infinity War, I mean, we'll have to wait after it's been out for a couple of months.
You know what? Maybe it could be depending on the number part 2. You know, it's not done yet.
Right. If part 2 sucks, then this movie
God,
gets.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I mean, it just has to be good. But if it's great, then this movie gets. Then you might be talking about the top 2 MCU movies.
This lived up to your hype, right?
I think it surpassed it, honestly.
That's
it surpassed it in ways that I wasn't expecting it to.
You think that happened because you didn't see any Rotten Tomato scores or anything?
I think next time I'm not going to do that because then I go into the movie and I get nervous about the quality. I think next time I'm going to be like, okay, so I know what I'm getting into. But it surpassed my expectations in ways that I didn't expect it to because I was going into this movie thinking it was just going to be straight chaos for 2.5 hours, and I couldn't wait for that.
Yeah, I thought the same thing with this movie. I didn't understand how they were going to do it.
Yeah, and it was much slower and more personal, and that's something that I appreciated definitely more the second time around.
Because what I was just going to say was that they with killing Tom Holland, they left the door open for Miles Morales. They built him, they referenced him in Homecoming.
They did.
And that's what I thought they were going to do when they killed Tom Holland.
That would be ballsy on their part, but no way. Peter Parker's the moneymaker. That's killing off Bruce Wayne and saying Dick Grayson.
And I also, I think in Venom, it's going to be a Spider-Man-less Venom, isn't it?
They're saying it's not even connected now.
And
I've been holding out.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that Venom could be taking place after Infinity War, and
that's how they could have done it. Yeah, definitely.
And then you bring in Miles Morales when they save the universe and bring back half humanity.
I'm also not a fan of the Miles Morales character. I hate the copycat characters.
Yeah.
I don't like when Dick Grayson takes up the Batman mantle. I don't like when, even though Damian Wayne's my favorite Robin, but there's like a bajillion Robins. There's Kid Flash. It's like, 1 in 7 billion accident happened
There's 3
again.
Spider-Mans now.
Yeah,
so
Spider-Woman, Gwen Spider-Gwen, Aqualad. Even though that kind of makes sense because they're all kind of superpowered. But Miles Morales, I think that was more of just hey, he exists, but maybe in like 10 years. It's really up to Sony too because they're the ones still making those movies with Marvel. But that would be a good way to do Venom. It's just this is happening after Infinity War and it's kind of referenced throughout. But that movie's already shot and filmed, and I doubt that they were collaborating.
I'm thinking
Sony sucks.
I'm thinking we give them a call and we try and get some strings pulled.
Yeah, Sony. Then they'll leak it to the press.
me and you. Yeah, me and you trying to leak something.
Get hacked by North Korea. Be like Nerd Soup pulling the strings of Sony.
One thing that this movie did do too. They had a very successful third act.
Oh, yeah, one of the best.
Black Panther, they're 2 for 2 now with third acts and villains for me. Well, in a row. You know, the third act for Black Panther was insane. The villain for Black Panther was great. They really developed both of those, Killmonger and Thanos.
That's like a superhero problem, where if you look at a lot of the best superhero films, a lot of them have weak third acts. And the one that comes to mind, a movie that I love, Wonder Woman. Third act is terrible. I mean, that's a third act away from being one of the best movies of the last 5 years, and the third act just completely dropped the ball. Batman Begins, which sometimes I think Batman Begins is the best of the trilogy, third act is underwhelming. Dark Knight Rises, third act is kind of a mess.
Really? You didn't like it?
I like it. I mean, I was just watching it the other day when Batman fucking light it up. Impossible. I'm like, yeah, boy, he's back.
The best third act for Batman knows with the Joker.
Oh, the Dark Knight third act is just perfect. That's a perfect movie. Yeah, Batman Begins is not better.
Yeah, let's get back.
But the Marvel ones, Iron Man, all the Iron Man's bad third acts.
Yep.
Especially the first one, and it's still a great movie. It's just a third act kind of. You said it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't ready for that big villain. It was just like it was a startup movie. And obviously, it started the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't think you had to put a villain in there.
No, you really didn't. You really didn't. The only conflict you needed was, instead of him being a villain, just him trying to oust Tony from the company. Like, it's not them battling in Iron Man suits. It's them battling with their minds.
Yeah, because like
the best parts of that movie are him just tinkering with the suit, him becoming Iron Man. Yeah, fighting crime, right.
And again, it came out of nowhere. We weren't ready for this fucking big behemoth. We had no idea he even had it made.
Yeah, it did.
Like,
hey, Tony, I love this suit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the third act for Iron Man 2 it's embarrassing, almost. And I like Iron Man 2. I think it's still a fun movie. Whenever you have Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, it's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be sad not seeing him anymore. Ragnarok was a great third act.
I think the first Thor is very underrated. Thor 2 had bad
the first Thor third act was fighting on Earth, no?
Yeah, and it was cool, when he sacrifices himself and you think he's dead and then he gets the hammer back. It's cool.
Psych.
Thought I was dead, boy. Nah.
Spider-Man had a good third act. Spider-Man developed their villain great too. The working man villain that you felt for him.
Well, you say that they're 2 for 2. I mean, even I don't know how you feel about Hella.
I just meant like in a row, like
right. Well, some people are making the case that they're 5 for 5, that they go on 5 in a row, where it's Guardians 2 with Ego, Spider-Man with
that was
Vulture.
You liked Guardians 2 with Ego? I thought it was kind of boring.
I did. Ego's my favorite part. I don't love that movie.
It just felt so played on, like and
it could have been better.
Yeah,
it was a little cliche at times.
No, what is it? We got Guardians,
Spider-Man with Vulture, Hela with Thor. I don't think Hela's a good villain.
They could have done a lot more with her.
She was ridiculously cliche with the lines that she was saying. As God, I am your savior. It was very over the top and silly. They were like, we need to reinvent Thor before this franchise fucking dies, because we're doing great things with our other characters. We need to fix this guy.
How great was that opening scene though with Hulk? When he goes fucking toe to toe with Hulk.
You want to go see it on Saturday?
You want to? I'm in. After The Shining.
All right. Well, Ted, thanks for joining me today. Glad to have you on talking Infinity War.
Yeah.
And now we're going to bring in Aaron. So.
Oh, by the way, not having Aaron here was fucking amazing.
I was just going to say, kind of a downgrade on the chair.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, it's fine. I'll do that.
No, yeah.
I'm sure Aaron won't, but.
I'll take that deal.
All right. Thanks for having me, man.
Good job, Ted. You did good, man. Keep my seat warm. All right.
Yeah.
You drive safe now. You hear, Ted?
30 more minutes.
I love that kid.
All right. Tone it down a bit. Just came from a wake. You can't be that happy. Can never get too much of Infinity War. 30 minutes of going after this. I mean, we just keep talking about it. You want to go just do Infinity War instead of the movie?
No, I heard you guys out there. It was pretty. Oh, by the way, why'd you have to leave me in the lobby? I couldn't be in the room.
It's a waiting room.
It's barely a hallway.
It's like what Seinfeld says. If you have the waiting room, you use the waiting room. That's why you have it.
I could heard you guys the whole time. I could have just sat on the couch.
There's also like a little vacuum in there so you can like bang your foot on it.
Is it Teddy? Does he get nervous around me?
Yeah, I think he does. I don't think he likes you.
I don't like him, so that makes sense.
We've all been friends for a long time, but I just don't think he likes you.
Makes sense.
Bad mixture. Okay, so, me and you, we're going to take some fan questions, and we're also going to talk about some movie news and television news. There's a lot of stuff going on this week in the world of television and movies. But for the first question, we have Christian Uhlenberg. I think it's Uhlenberg. I'm a big Christian guy. The guy is always liking our tweets, saying nice things.
Oh, yeah. Twitter, yeah. I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, he's awesome. And it always shocks me when people are like, oh, I'm a fan of your stuff. I'm like, why? I don't know. I really don't know how to respond. I'm like, oh, thanks. But he had a question that we answered on the last podcast, but he also had a part 2 that we forgot to answer. And I think it's pretty interesting.
Part two.
Because this company is failing at the moment, and his question is, what are your thoughts about the MoviePass subscription fiasco? And I think in this question he was referencing the fact that MoviePass limited the amount of times that somebody can go to a movie and repeat viewings of a specific film. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. But they were saying, this could hurt Infinity War. And it's funny because the day before Infinity War, I went to the theater to go watch Black Panther. And the theater lost power, so everybody had to leave. And the person who was there was on MoviePass, and they wouldn't give him a refund for his ticket. And it's that weird line that MoviePass kind of created, and it's kind of going away now because they're losing money. It always felt like too good to be true, but I never got a MoviePass because they simply wouldn't let me sign up. What do you feel about MoviePass?
I mean, it's great. I mean, I would probably people like us would probably is the reason why they were going out of business, right? But I never had one either. I've always meant to get one. Everyone's like, oh, you got to get Movie Pass, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense, but I guess I was just always too lazy to save money. But yeah, that's weird, the whole repeat viewing thing, because if you pay for something unlimited a month, then you should be able to go as many times as you want.
I think MoviePass started this business thinking, oh, we're going to get people to sign up that don't really go to the movies.
Yeah, they'll go once, like, they'll make money off it somehow.
Because they forget that they've even signed up, and they're just paying that $10 a month, because it's not that much money. But in reality, the people that signed up for it are the people who are going to the movies 4 or 5 times a month. The movie heads. That's what this type of business is going to attract, and they should have known that from the onset, that the people who buy this are the ones who are going to keep using it. And the whole idea of them making money was that they can make deals with theaters, so they would promote specific movies on their MoviePass app.
Well, what do we go, like at least once a week? What's that, $60 a month at least?
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth it for us, but I guess...
You think, oh, are they making money on advertisements on the app? I'm sure they are, but they can't be making that much to offset the cost of paying for all those movie tickets. The way you do this, I think I would still pay for it if it was like $25
yeah,
I'd
say raise the price and like just you get more with it.
Yeah.
See as many films as you want. I mean, that's not the end of the world because at least you got to see whatever you want. But the only thing with MoviePass, like the big movies, Avengers: Infinity War, Solo, Deadpool, you're not going to be able to go the day they come out. You have to wait a few days in order to get a good seat because you have to show up at the place. You can't buy them in advance.
Right.
So that's the big downfall. But it's perfect for movies like, I don't know,
Tully.
Tully this weekend. That's a MoviePass movie.
Yeah.
And even if I had the MoviePass, I'm still buying the ticket to go Thursday that night.
Right, yeah. It's a nice thing to have in your back pocket. But even theaters have been lukewarm in receiving the MoviePass because some theaters like it, other theaters don't. Their whole goal is to get more people in the theaters. And me, I'm somebody, I still love going to the theater, but I'm not someone who's so against watching movies that are released on Netflix. You know, people have this whole idea, oh, your movie can't be submitted to our film festival because it didn't get a theatrical release. And there's nothing I love more than going to a packed theater opening night, experiencing that buzz and that vibe. But I'm not so against it where I'm like, if you don't go to the theater, then you're anti-movie. You're not a true film fan.
That's what Spielberg said, going back to the Netflix thing. I think he said that Netflix films shouldn't be allowed on.
There's a difference between TV movies and movies that come out in the theater. Yeah, tell that to Game of Thrones, Stevie.
Well, it's a TV show. I mean, but I'm saying
but it's movie quality. That's what he's saying. That somehow it's less because it comes out on television.
The movies Netflix do release, they have some good ones. Mudbound. I mean, that's fine. Like,
but that's still a feature film. They should qualify for Oscars. I don't care where they're released. But MoviePass, if it dies, it dies.
It's good. I guess, if I had it, I would use it for secondary movies, not like the big releases Thursday night because I want to be there opening night. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's probably why I never got it.
Yeah.
I'm always going.
I tried to get it, but it just didn't go through. It was like Coinbase. It's like, oh, we need this verification and that and submit your blood type. And I was just like, whatever. Just going to pay the hard-earned money.
You know what I want? Genius idea. If AMC's listening or Regal, this one's free. So it'll benefit me and the people. You buy your ticket. You get a ticket, a plus ticket, premium ticket. For like $5 to $10 extra. And with that ticket, you're allowed to bring in anything you want. Snacks, drinks.
People are doing that anyway. So you're just paying to not hide it.
Yeah. I hate it. I feel guilty.
You're not a Davos. They don't even care anymore.
I know.
They'll look at my mom always brings in popcorn and they look in her bag and she's like, they didn't even say anything. They just kind of let me go in and she just stuffs the bag with popcorn and candy. It's like, whatever.
I'll put like M&Ms in my pocket, and I'll have to walk very slowly because I'm still scared.
It's also more convenient to just buy it there, though.
I'll get thrown in jail for bringing M&Ms.
I remember you and Teddy had the joke when I had a pack of gum in my bag, in my jacket, and it was kind of shaking around, and it sounded like candy. And it's like, they're going to be like, what's that in your pocket, sir? And you and Teddy were going to sell me out right away. It's like, he's got it, man. I don't have anything on me. SWAT team comes in. All right, the next question is from Dylan Flow 78, and he asks us, what is our dream casting for the Fantastic Four movie, including the four, Doctor Doom and Galactus? Well, I saw this great fan art a couple of weeks ago, and it was Oscar Isaac for Mr. Fantastic. And people are going to lose their minds when they hear this, but I still love it. Gabrielle Union as the Invisible Woman, M'Baku as the Thing, and then Michael B. Jordan again as the Human Torch.
That's a good get.
But the thing is, he's already playing. He played
Yeah.
Killmonger, right? So you can't use that.
Well, and he played Human Torch already.
Right, exactly. But if you were gonna do it and not want to piss off half of the universe with that type of casting, I still would like to see Poe Dameron as Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The Krasinski Emily Blunt combination, I still like that too. Why are you laughing?
What?
I'm
I'm trying to think of like a funny Fantastic Four.
Of course you are. As Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Charlize Theron. I think that would be a great addition. The Thing. I mean, I would love to say The Rock, but Cena. I go John Cena as the Thing.
I just all the memes. The Rock as the Thing.
Oh boy,
those just write themselves.
And then what's his face? Johnny Storm. Zac Efron. I think that would be Zac Efron and Charlize Theron as siblings. I think that's believable. Poe Dameron as Mr. Fantastic. I mean, I would also love to see Poe Dameron.
Bit of age difference. Oh, Efron's actually pretty. He's in 30s, I think.
Yeah, he's early 30s.
Isn't Storm older?
Yeah, she's what, like 42, I think, and Oscar Isaac is, I think, 39. So that matches up. I would also love to see Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight.
That might be a Netflix show.
And Doctor Doom, yeah, I hope it's not. I would like to see that in a movie form. Doctor Doom, Michael Fassbender. Fassbender. Hell yeah.
Do you want your movie to stink? Fassbender's a great actor, but he's been in some duds lately.
Well, maybe that's, it's this guy stinks. Fantastic Four has been stinking. They come together and they make something good, finally.
Okay. That's pretty good.
You have yours?
Yeah. We go Mrs. Fantastic, Emma Stone.
Okay. So you're going a little younger.
Invisible Man.
What?
What?
He doesn't turn invisible. He stretches.
Invisible Man will be Matt Damon. The Thing, I was going to do the reverse, like, because he did black, I was going to do all women.
You said Matt Damon. Oh, God.
I was doing the gender swap thing. Okay, I'll start over.
Just start over. None of this with Teddy. Teddy just goes with the flow.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, the fan art of John Krasinski is pretty dope as Mr. Fantastic. I like that pairing. The Emily Blunt, Mr. Fantastic, John Krasinski. Cena as the Thing. I feel like the Thing is he supposed to be like a big guy without the Thing? Or does he just get big?
No, I think it's better if you make it a big guy because then it's more believable when he becomes the rock monster.
I'm going Jonah Hill.
Oh, God.
Why?
Because you need a commanding voice when he becomes the Thing. Be like, oh, what's up, guys? Yeah, are you going to take care of this, Reed? Because I'm a rock now, okay?
Change it up.
I don't like being a rock.
Fantastic Four has been trash lately.
You get Chris Rock as the Thing?
Kevin Hart. Hey, Mr. Fantastic.
Hey, I don't like being the Thing because it just goes back to rock jokes because I'm a rock, okay? I'm not the Rock. I'm Kevin Hart, okay? I'm the little one when we make the movie, okay?
Well, it's nice, give him...
No, don't Jonah Hill in anything.
I like Jonah Hill.
Unless it's like a Martin Scorsese movie.
Seth Rogen?
When I said I wanted to get stoned, I didn't mean this. It's jokes. The rock jokes just write themselves.
Oh, what about just the whole, like, that universe, Fantastic Four? Jonah Hill as, like, Johnny Torch.
No.
Johnny Snow.
Don't we want to make them
James
better?
Franco as Mr. Fantastic.
Well, who's Galactus, too? Bryan Cranston. And I want Galactus. I want a giant fucking 400-foot man with a giant helmet. Just Bryan Cranston in that outfit. That's what I want.
The thing is, I really don't want.
I don't want a fucking cloud. I don't want even Ego. It was like cool that he had the face in that one scene, but I want them to go full ridiculousness with the Fantastic Four. Embrace the weird. Embrace it.
But if it's gonna be the MCU, I really don't care as much. Like,
I can't wait for Fantastic
Four. I was never really a big Fantastic Four guy, so I really don't care. Like a Dreamcast, like it doesn't really. All I want is Doctor Doom to be the Doctor Doom.
Well, he needs a movie by himself.
He rips Thanos' spine out.
Yeah, but
that happened.
The thing with Doctor Doom is too that his story is so interesting without the Fantastic Four. Before the Fantastic Four, when him just ruling Latveria.
Who'd you pick for Doctor Doom?
Fassbender or Walt? I'd probably go Fassbender.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe Cillian Murphy.
If they redo it again and they enter it into the MCU, you got to build Doctor Doom to be like a bigger threat than just the Fantastic Four can beat him. Because he's one of their best villains. And he's just been...
But he's more anti-hero-ish than somebody like a Thanos.
Yeah.
Galactus is their Thanos. if you're going to go bigger than Thanos moving forward, because that's where do you go from here with somebody like a Thanos? You want to bring in a Galactus because that's your big guy. And everybody thought, Dormammu is basically replacing Galactus.
With the X-Men coming in, you can also bring in Apocalypse.
Right, yeah. Do that. Give him some justice after, I don't know what the fuck that piece of
movie
shit.
sucked, man.
Oh, it's bad. It's the worst type of movie where it's not like it's poorly made. It's just so dull. So predictable and boring. All right, the third question comes from Ben Ingram. Which film are you more excited for? Solo: A Star Wars Story or Deadpool 2? P.S. Big fan of the channel. Keep it up. Thanks, Ben. Good kid. Good head on his shoulders. Good taste in film and YouTube channels. Parents, good taste in name. Benjamin Frank, favorite founding father.
You done?
Philadelphia Gazette.
What movie are we looking forward to most?
Join or Die. Out of the two.
I don't know.
I hate to admit it. I've been so against Solo. A little bit. I'm a little bit excited.
You're kind of getting ready?
Yeah. As we get closer, I'm like, all right, I want to see the Sabacc.
I think, yeah. I feel like I know what both movies are going to be.
Yeah.
I feel like, though...
Deadpool 2, I'm more excited for Deadpool 2, though. By far.
I feel like Solo can actually be good.
The rumors are that it's one of the best scripts for Star Wars ever written. Deadpool 2 is either going to be great or it's going to be really bad. Because that's what Deadpool is. He's walking the line between hilarious and annoying.
Yeah.
And it's a very thin line. But if they pull it off, I think the last trailer for me when they had Pete, it's like...
That was hilarious. That was funny.
Just fucking diving down with them with the...
It's like, you're in.
You're in, yeah.
I don't know. Solo... yeah, I really...
It's
to
starting
tell
a
you
little
the
bit.
truth, I mean, I wasn't really excited for any of them, but I feel the closer I get to Solo, the more I'm anticipating it. Deadpool, I just realized, like, oh, Deadpool's next week. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Deadpool is like you watch it, you have fun, and then you move on. It's not going to be much to talk about with Deadpool. It's not like an Infinity War.
Everyone's like trying to boycott Solo, like the hardcore, like the real Star Wars fans that hate like Kathleen Kennedy and The Last Jedi.
I'll tell you what, man. The worst people are the ones that think, the two worst people, that if you don't like The Last Jedi, you're not a true Star Wars fan, and that if you do like it, you're not a true Star Wars fan. I can't stand those people. Just get out of here. Solo, a Star Wars movie, hasn't even been released. If you judge a movie before, I've been doing this for so long, but that's because of all the behind the scenes trouble, where I'm anticipating that it was going to suck.
It's totally unneeded, but I'm just saying, like, the bigger picture is trying to show, like, oh, Disney can't make money because you ruined The Last Jedi, and we're not going to see another movie until you make things right.
Well,
first the movie's still going to make a shit ton of money.
And those petitions will never amount to anything anyway, so...
I have the people that are saying, yeah, I will not see this movie. They're going Thursday night, IMAX, 3D, tub of popcorn, bunch of butter, some bunch of crunch, and maybe nachos. I don't know.
It's amazing how much money it's tracking towards.
It's one of the highest
like
pre-sales, right?
175, yeah, 175 opening weekend, which is insane. It just goes to show that Star Wars is still the biggest franchise in the world.
Yeah,
it's bigger than Marvel.
I didn't love Last Jedi, but I'm not like... I'll never see another Star Wars again.
The Last Jedi did hurt my anticipation for Episode 9. I can tell you. I'm much more...
You soured on that movie ever since you saw it.
The thing is, I'll always maintain this. I don't think it's a poorly made film, but I just think the decisions that they made, it's... Episode 9, unless it's like the best movie out of the entire franchise, it's going to be underwhelming. But I'm much more excited for the D&D spinoff. That I can't wait for. Old Republic. Somebody was saying Evan Rachel Wood should... Oh, I was saying it, but me, this one of our followers on Twitter, we were going back and forth about how great Evan Rachel Wood was, and imagine her as like a Sith Lord in the Old Republic with like dual lightsabers. Oh my god! And then they bring in young Yoda with the dreads. They retcon it.
Okay.
Are you thinking how?
I feel like Deadpool. I was the first one I liked, but I could see where that can wear thin, and even wear thin on me, like halfway through the movie. I'm like, all right, I get it. He's a superhero, and he's saying dirty words and making vulgar jokes.
I hope it's weirder, this one, because even the first one, it was like, oh, this is a satire of the superhero genre. It still wasn't that anti-superhero film that I was looking for, and it's harder to do it in comedy. But I'm still looking for that superhero film. It's like McCabe and Miss Miller, Robert Altman's film, where it was the anti-Western, where it just took all the superhero cliches and said, fuck you, fuck that, fuck you. What Game of Thrones did to fantasy. I'm still looking for that one superhero film that either in comedy form or dramatic form. And Logan got close
Watchmen's
as well.
kind of close to that.
It is, but I don't like Watchmen.
Really?
The movie. The comic I love. The comic is one of the best novels ever. I'm just not a Zack Snyder guy. I say it all the time. I was reading something that Watchmen should be a TV series adapted by Zack Snyder, and somebody was like, it'd be 8.5 hours of slow motion.
Aren't they doing a Watchmen TV series?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's in production right now. It's better suited for television.
We're back to Deadpool. I feel like it's going to be more of the same. Let's just see Josh Brolin as Cable. I feel like he might be the best part of the movie. He's going to have a hell of a fucking year, huh?
He recently said he liked playing Thanos more than Cable.
Yeah, it's fucking Thanos.
But this.
Thanos, Cable, and he's coming back for Sicario. Big couple months for him.
He's a great actor, man. This one is by Jose Ramirez. Hello, Jose. Hey, guys, love your show. Keep doing more videos. That's what we plan to do, Jose. Actually, you know what? We were thinking about...
Genius.
1, Bo, what is your favorite movie from Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli? 2, do you guys watch anime, read manga? If so, what's your favorite series? And 3, what do you want to see the most in Game of Thrones Season 8? Oh, it's for you. I would love to see Bran doing something really cool with his powers, and Jon Snow riding Rhaegal with Ghost by his side. Okay, see you, boy. Take care, Joe. Thanks for the question, Joe. Number 1, what's your favorite Hayao Miyazaki, Studio Ghibli?
That's easy for me. I'll go back to my younger days.
Okay.
About 8 years old when I first saw... what's his name?
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yes, when I first saw a Hayao Miyazaki film. So windy day, just like today, actually. Night like this, raining, nice calm, thunder in the air. And I remember watching it and saying, damn, this is a good-ass movie. And that movie was? Give me a name.
The Wind Rises.
And that movie was The Wind Rises.
Released in 2013.
2013. I saw it when I was 8, though.
Yeah, that's...
So...
Damn, you were ahead of your time.
We had the premium cable package when I was a kid. So I got that shit early.
Okay. Well, as for me, my favorite Ghibli movie is going to be a Miyazaki movie because, as I've said, he's one of my top 5 favorite directors. And I constantly go back and forth all the time. Sometimes it's Porco Rosso. Sometimes it's Princess Mononoke. Sometimes it's The Wind Rises. I think I would put The Wind Rises number 1 at this point. It's just such a fucking sweet story, man. It's I think it's his most personal movie as well as Porco Rosso, but they're all just great. I mean, 1 through 11. I think it's 11 that he has. And when me and Ted were listening to Touch the Sky by Kanye West and Lupe Fiasco, his opening verse, he says, "Guess who's on third? Lupe steal like Lupin the Third." Lupin the Third, international thief manga character, the central character of Miyazaki's first movie.
Ah, yes.
And I never caught that until recently.
You didn't know that?
No, you did, right?
Yeah, I did.
Lupin the Third, stealing third base.
Yeah,
as well.
I got it.
Yeah,
It's a little slower than others, I guess.
Yeah, but The Wind Rises. I mean, they're also great. Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo, not so much. Favorite anime series, Aaron?
Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z. I've only seen the ones when I was a kid.
That boy Yu-Gi-Oh was nice.
My fucking deck was stacked back in the day.
Exodus. That was his name, right? You get the 5 different cards, and they become the one super card.
Dark Magician. I still remember the day I got Dark Magician.
Blue Eyes,
Hell
White
of a
Dragon.
day. I had a Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Oh, yeah. Of course you did.
I don't pick the cards I get.
Yeah, because you weren't committed.
Magical Hats. Ooh-wee.
I remember one time me and Nash played Yu-Gi-Oh! Against each other, and we bet cards, and I won, and he wouldn't give me his cards. I still hold it to him to this day. My friend,
I went to college with these 2 brothers, and the younger brother has a video. We never got to show it because no one could find it. It's a video of his brother when he was like 13, like pretty old, of him like opening up a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and getting magical hats and just absolutely losing his shit. It's like magical hats, magical hats, magical hats, magical. He started doing the dance like when you have your arms up and start kicking your legs out.
Oh, the Irish dance? Is that what it is?
And no one's ever...
It's like in Pokemon when you get like those power-up cards, like the water symbol and the fire symbol. But favorite manga. The only manga that I read some of One Piece, but I never finished it. The most manga I've ever read, I've never finished one all the way through, is Berserk, which I think you would like, Aaron, honestly. It's this.
Berserk?
It is Berserk. It's like a fantasy series, but it pushes the R rating all the way to its limit. It's just insane. But favorite anime, I would go right now. It's still Full Metal Alchemist for me, Brotherhood. And this is a show, I say it all the time. to my friends, and they just don't listen to me because they don't know what it is.
I'm right here.
It would be a great rival if like a Netflix adapted it as a live action version. It would be a great rival to Game of Thrones because it has, I think, right from the get, it has more appeal than Game of Thrones had. And I always say it's amazing how appealing Game of Thrones has become to the mainstream audiences. But Full Metal Alchemist, it's one of the best fantasy epics of all time. It's incredible. Just speaking about it, I want to go rewatch it. I've been wanting to make a movie called The Philosophy of Full Metal Alchemist because there's so much stuff in there with existentialism.
You want to make a
There's
movie?
some Nietzsche. Oh, I said movie?
Yeah.
I want to make a movie. I want to make a Full Metal Alchemist documentary, The Philosophy of Full Metal Alchemist. There's so much good stuff in there. But yeah, your favorite manga is Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z.
Only ones I've ever watched.
Why do those battles in Dragon Ball Z take forever?
I used to be a big Dragon Ball Z guy. I used to watch every episode. I think up to the Majin Buu saga I stopped.
Majin Buu.
That guy was electric.
When he became the Brolic Majin Buu,
I like
that's the fat one.
That's my guy. Turned everybody into chocolate. Like, oh, this guy's
Yeah.
I understand.
He is slick.
I connect with this guy. No, I think the Cell one was the best.
Oh yeah, the Cell
I
Saga.
used to have the toys. I had like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku toy. It's pretty dope.
Well,
I wonder where that
they
is.
were like robots, right?
Super Saiyan 4?
No, the Cell guys, like androids or something like that.
Well, there was Android like 17. Yeah, I think they're from the future or something. I don't remember.
I saw a meme on Twitter. It was like, here's a shout out to all the black dads in Hollywood. And it had like 3 black dads from movies, and then the 4th one was Piccolo. Because everybody says that he's like Gohan's real dad. But Game of Thrones Season 8, what are you expecting? What do you want to see Game of Thrones Season 8?
I don't know, man. I got to start gearing towards it because we're doing the rewatch right now, so I'm still stuck in like my Season 2 mode. But I've had so long to think about this, how it's going to end, and I want it to be a surprise. I don't want it to, and I feel like at this point, for like Jon to kill Daenerys or Daenerys to sacrifice Jon or something like that is kind of expected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm almost expecting some iteration of that to happen. I just want it to be pure chaos. I want it to be very drawn out chaos where the last battle isn't just 1 2-hour long episode. I want it to span episodes, and we get to see like the inner workings of like basically the brink of Armageddon, destruction of the known world, where they're literally on their last stand, and it's just so drawn out, the terror and the horror of the enemy coming, the White Walkers, and the Night's King coming down on them, and just to see those little moments in between where they're truly scared, where they don't know what's going to happen, they don't know if they're going to survive another minute, let alone another episode. You know, just drawn out, suspenseful terror.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You want to see something that's unexpected. You want that Game of Thrones subverting your expectations, and I would say Season 7, not to the same extent, but like The Last Jedi, Season 7 kind of made me not as excited as I could have been for Season 8. But when Game of Thrones starts rolling around, that's going to change. When we're like a couple of months out, because it's got to be less than a year, right? You would think it's going to premiere next April.
Yeah.
You would think.
Maybe.
Because I don't think they want to compete with the NFL if they bring it back like January.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You're going to hurt your numbers. Yeah, I just want to see something that I'm not expecting. That's really and of course, you want to see great battles. The most disappointing thing about Season 7 was Beyond the Wall.
Yeah, that was the word. Yeah.
And like you said, I want to see the fear. I want to see people making sacrifices. I want it to feel like these characters aren't going to win. And when that final resolution happens, it's not that one side or the other won. It's that, like I just said with Infinity War, there was a conflict and there was collateral damage on both sides.
I feel like if it's kind of, that big battle scene they're rumored to have shot, the biggest battle scene ever, I'd feel kind of cheated if that was just, we're up to episode 6, the last episode, and then that battle starts.
Yeah.
I would want it to happen like episode 3 or 4 and span over like.
They've been stretching the plot thin the last couple of seasons.
So we never really got like, and I know you say like, I think I said this before. We made a joke like, I want to see the siege. I want to see like the inner workings of like the planning and
I'd like to see that if it's done over the course of, like you said, 6 episodes. Like if it's just 6 episodes of that, I don't want to see.
At any instance, it could just start up again, like real war. Like
because
most battles don't happen in one like a few hours, and then they.
You want like an 8-month battle almost.
Yeah, like dirty, grimy, just at any second, the ice dragon can just come over and fucking freeze, freeze. I don't know what he does.
Well, specific moments that I want to see. Obviously, I want to see Bran take control of a dragon, specifically the Night King's dragon. I want to see Jon ride a dragon. Maybe some way they can get Tyrion up there.
Just hanging on the tail.
Yeah, Jon, slow down. Wacky music playing in the background. Whoa. What I really want to see is I want to see Brienne and Arya do something with the abilities that they have. Because if Arya doesn't do something, if she doesn't have a great end to her character, because I think she dies in season 8, I really do, then that's just a waste.
Yeah. The only thing she does...
What was the point?
Yeah, the only thing is the Frey thing. That's
right, and if that's the outcome of all that training, yeah.
Not really all that training, just like from season 2 on. That's when she first learns about it with Jaqen.
Yeah.
Like, that's pushing her towards that, her going to Bravos. But yeah, for me, I want to see Jaime kill Cersei, then kill himself.
I'm starting to think it's not going to happen.
I don't know. I hope that. I think that'll be a fitting end.
I can't wait to see Jaime, Jon, and Daenerys fighting side by side. Just thinking about it, man.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they're all battling like for Winterfell, and all of a sudden just lightning comes down and it's just Jaime
with Lightbringer.
Yeah, Jaime, Jon, and Gendry, just like Thor. But Jaime's obviously Thor.
Like Jon's on his shoulder.
I want something like that. Like, I feel like that's what they tried to make the Daenerys thing, like that. Because even though you can telegraph Thor coming into that Battle of Wakanda, like, when it happened, it was fucking epic.
Yeah, but they were desperate for somebody to show up. The Daenerys thing, it's like, go ahead. We knew it was coming.
Yeah, but we knew Thor was coming too. But
we knew Thor was coming, but they needed Thor in that moment. The Daenerys thing, it's like...
They needed Daenerys.
Right, but they probably still would have won with the Dothraki anyway. The dragon was just...
No, I'm talking about Beyond the Wall.
You know what? Because they never felt like they were in trouble in Beyond the Wall.
Yeah.
And in Avengers, it was like they're about to fucking get killed by all these creatures. So you need Thor to show up. And Thanos is coming. And Beyond the Wall is like, who died? Thoros, right? That's it.
He gave his life to the Red God. And you're going to
I don't care what anybody
like
says. I love that zombie polar bear. I think that's awesome. That's what I wanted the whole episode to be. There's no dialogue, just fucking creatures and White Walkers coming out of the fucking shadows and killing them one by one.
Well, like how Hard Home was, where it was just like chaos going everywhere, and it was like that snowy mist where you couldn't really see. That should have been like, and that's what it was when the polar bear came. But then when
it should have been an hour-long Hard Home.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for Game of Thrones. So our first news story of the day is the news that Margot Robbie and DC are developing a Harley Quinn movie, and she's described it as a girl gang film that's going to be rated R. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, I can't trust anything that DC says, but I would like to see this.
As long as David Ayer isn't involved, all should be okay.
Yeah, just keep him the fuck away from this.
He might be my least favorite director of all time. I fucking hate David
Fury's
Ayer.
Good. And he wrote Training Day.
Training Day, yeah. But the past 2 movies he's made, I fucking hated. So.
I don't like the cop movie either, End of Watch.
That's
it's okay.
It was a little... It's Jake Gyllenhaal, though, so I'll give him the benefit of that.
And Michael Pena.
Yeah. He wasn't as funny in that one.
No. No, he was not.
You know, it's DC. Margot Robbie's version of Harley Quinn was the best part of that movie. But I'm just sick to my stomach that they have to stick to what David Ayer made. Like, that to stick to that Joker, that Harley Quinn, like, just the design and all that.
I don't like that Harley Quinn either. I mean, I understand that you want to give your character some layers, but I feel like Harley Quinn doesn't need that. Like, some characters can just be out of their minds and insane. She shouldn't be making she shouldn't be making deals with Deadshot like, oh, we're buddies now, right?
Deadshot.
It's over. That was a great scene. That was the best scene in the movie. If it's rated R and if it's just fucking insane insanity, because that's what I thought.
Was it going to be Birds of Prey or?
No, it's not going to be Birds of Prey, because she specifically said they're developing Birds of Prey and they were developing a Joker Harley movie, and I had nothing to do with that. So I think even Margot Robbie's like, what the hell are they doing over there? But I think it's going to be her production company working with Warner Brothers, and it's probably going to be a director that she wants. She's probably going to have a hand in producing the movie and picking out the different actresses that she wants in her girl gang. And I would like to see, Catwoman team up. Get us because even Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, she's okay. I think Catwoman deserves the big screen treatment again. Get the girl from Mr. Robot.
Oh, okay. I forgot her name too.
Do you know her name in Mr. Robot? It's a really hot wife for not Darlene.
Not Darlene.
Or whatever his name is. Whatever her name is.
Tyrell.
Yeah, Tyrell's wife.
Uh,
She is a goddamn specimen.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm excited, but I mean, just DC, I have no faith anymore. It's so sad. And it's like, they're developing a Harley, like, that's what they're resorting to. They're taking the best part of an awful movie, and it's Margot Robbie, one of the biggest stars in the world now, but it's Harley Quinn, you know? It's not like...
That's the thing, like, Harley Quinn is a cool side
character.
Yeah, she's not a main character.
Yeah, there's so many other characters, like, you could put like Margot Robbie for and be like, oh yeah, I can't wait for that movie. But it's not like a Wonder Woman where that's who I want leading my franchise. It's Harley Quinn. And
I'd much rather a Catwoman movie.
they tried that already. It didn't really work too
Yeah,
well.
but that's not Catwoman. That
Yeah,
was
I
some
know.
She was like speaking to the cats telepathically. That was ridiculous. I want like a real Catwoman movie where Batman is a supporting character and
Yeah, there really isn't any female roles besides like the Batman rogues and the Batman family. So I guess you got to go in. I guess you got to make a Harley Quinn movie.
And our next big story is the new Quentin Tarantino movie.
Also, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie in this as well.
She's
and
killing it, man.
I don't know if she's going to be playing Sharon Tate. Have they said?
Yeah, Sharon
She
Tate.
is? Okay.
Yeah.
It's about
I
about.
don't know if it's confirmed, but it's probably Sharon Tate.
So what's the cast for that movie? A little backstory. It's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's going to focus on the Manson murders. Not specifically. It's starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio as actors that are
That's such a big two.
trying to. Well, Brad Pitt's like his stunt double or something like that, right? They're like old friends.
Well, I'm just saying, like getting Brad Pitt and Leo in your movie and
Yeah.
Margot Robbie, like
And who are the new cast members for this film?
Kurt Russell, Burt Reynolds, Tim Roth, Zoe Bell, and Michael Madsen. Of course, Michael Madsen's in the movie. He's in every Tarantino movie.
Yeah, it's Tim Roth, Burt Reynolds. Has he ever been in a?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he has. So you got a couple of Quentin Tarantino regulars.
It's a hell of a cast, if you ask me.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, Leo, both returning for their second film. Margot Robbie the first time. And actors, they just line up to be in his movies because he's great at getting performances out of these actors. And Walt's 2 Academy Awards. Leo should have probably been nominated for Django. But anytime a Quentin Tarantino movie comes out, one of those actors is being nominated for an Academy Award. Yeah, it's going to be like the events surrounding the Manson murders. I don't think he's going to be the focus because it's kind of boring. I mean, have you ever watched the Manson videos on YouTube?
No.
It's like,
That'd be weird. Like, it's just a surprise cameo and just like Jared Leto. And that's where he's been for the past 8 months. Like, it comes out that no one's seen Jared Leto in like the past 8 months. And like, there's like missing signs and no one can find him. No one knows where he is. And then the movie comes out and he's just been preparing to be Charles Manson for the past year.
Well, you have to be careful because he might go ahead and kill Margot Robbie with this old method acting.
Yeah. Supergirl. Margot Robbie.
She's already... Oh, whatever. The Injustice 2 plot would have been cool.
Yeah.
With Supergirl, with what happened there, that she's older than Superman. She got her ass sent over. I like Supergirl. I think it's funny that they're like, I don't care, she's like living in her cousin's shadow. Like there's some like big super family. It's like, it's just the fucking 2 of them. Like all the other family members are dead.
It just blows my mind how like what Marvel's doing with their characters and the most hype DC can generate for a movie is a Harley Quinn standalone movie.
They should hire me. I'll give them 8 movies, How to Get to Darkseid. That's what I'll title it, How to Get to Darkseid. They just need to take their fucking time, man. All right, well, that's our podcast for today. Any last thoughts, Aaron? Anything you want to leave the fans with?
No, not really.
Okay.